What's up? What's up? What do I go? It's Mshamba Marekani, and today I'm going to be talking about. It's about a topic about somebody from back home, back in Kenya. They asked me, "Oh, Mshamba, where are those Kenyan Americans when they go back home? They complain about money, or they don't have money." Or they don't want to spend money, and some of them they think like people back in Kenya are stupid. So I wanted to kind of talk about that issue for a little bit so you guys can have an understanding because the main issue, the main problem I've come to realize between there's a little bit of disconnect between Kenyans back home and Kenyans in the USA or diaspora or whatever they are. But the disconnect is because most Kenyans back home, they don't understand what their relatives go through in the US, and also it's not one-sided, and also the relatives, the guys in the US or in diaspora, they don't tell people back home what's going on. They don't tell them the truth. So they kind of paint a picture. It's just like, for me, I say most of the time I don't blame somebody who is in Kenya, because I remember when I was in Kenya, all I knew about America was what I saw on TV. So my perception about America was what was painted, the picture that was painted on TV is what I saw on TV. So not until I came over here, then I got to understand it's not what you see on TV. That what you see on TV is different from reality. So, and that's the main thing. People back home, they see their relatives in the US, they're living good. They're posting pictures of them dressed in $300 shoes, nice vehicles, living in mansions in the US, going to parties, buying Hennessy, Ciroc, all the expensive alcohol, and just living the life, you know. But what they don't get to see is the life that's behind the scenes. They don't get to see their relatives waking up early in the morning, going to work, pulling doubles. By that I mean, if your job is 8 hours, if you're pulling doubles, you're working more than 16 hours. So they don't see all that life behind the scenes. They don't know that their relatives, yeah, they might be making a lot of money. There are people who are bringing in home over $40,000 a day in the US, and it's 40,000 Kenya shillings. But that doesn't mean, yeah, it's a lot of money. And if I was in Kenya, I would think the same. And if you convert the money, the US dollar, to the Kenyan equivalent, that's a lot of money. I mean, that's $400 US dollars. And you convert that to Kenyan money is close to 40,000. So somebody bringing in 40,000 a day, because there are people who are bringing 40,000 a day, but on average, most people, they normally bring in around, let's say, 15,000 a day, Kenya shillings, which is still a lot of money, because I know back home there's somebody who's working a whole month to bring in just 10,000, you know. So if somebody's bringing in that 10,000 in a day, and they tell you they have money issues, then if you're back in Kenya, you're likely to question, what are they doing? These guys, they have a lot of money. So the main thing is, when you see somebody back home, let's say somebody, you talk to your friends or relatives in the US, or talk to them, oh, you need 10,000. They send you 10,000, okay? So if somebody's gonna send you 10,000 just like that, so in your mind, what you're gonna be thinking about is, wow, this guy must have a lot of money, and if he can just send me just 10,000 within just a few minutes or hours of asking him or her, that means they have a lot of money to spare. And that's the problem with most people back home. They see that if somebody's able to send them 10,000, then they can waste their money, because where that guy got the 10,000, they can send them 20,000 or 40,000. That's why you see a lot of people back home, they get mad when somebody's when somebody's telling them they don't have money, and they're like, what are you doing with your money? You're making over 10,000 a day in the US. That's close to 300,000 back home. Why can't you spare at least 10,000 to send me? So people get mad, and I tell people back home, there's no way you're gonna get mad at someone else's money. That's money they work hard for. They wake up early in the morning, they go to work. So if somebody's sending you 10,000, that means they had to wake up early in the morning, go to work, maybe do 8 hours, then send you that money. That means they woke up that day to work for you. And the fact that you don't appreciate somebody sending you that money, there's a problem with you. And there's a big problem with most people who have relatives abroad, is they have a kind of self-entitlement that they feel like, oh, their relatives should be sending the money. Well, I don't blame you if maybe your relatives, you guys contributed to have your relatives come to the US. Maybe you did a fundraising. Yeah, you can kind of have some self-entitlement, but if you didn't do anything to have those guys in the US, then you don't have no reason to be entitled to the money they're making. If somebody sends you even 1,000 Kenya shillings, you should appreciate, because these guys over here in the US, they have a lot of responsibilities, and I'm sure most of your relatives, they don't have the balls to tell you guys, hey, I don't have money, man. I'm struggling. I got bills to pay. I got mortgage. Especially those guys, they own the big houses. Their mortgages is over 100,000 Kenya shillings a month. Some of them have car payments. On average, most car payments are close to $500 US, which is 40,000 Kenya shillings. They still have to pay bills for their phone, internet. They have to pay for water. They have to pay for electricity. They have to buy their kids stuff. So even though they're making all that money, but that money is going somewhere else. It's not like they have money in the bank where they're not doing anything with it. And that's the perception most people have. Oh my God, these guys in the US, they have all this money, they show off, and they can't even send you 10,000. And the other problem is, when somebody in Kenya is asking for money, most people, they're not asking for money to do something constructive. And I've had many cases where people back home, they ask you for money and they're not really doing much with the money. It's just that some of them, they're even upfront to tell you, hey, it's the weekend, you might want to send me 5,000 Kenya shillings, or I'm going to a road trip to Nakuru, or I need to buy Jameson. Just stupid stuff. You asking money to do stupid stuff. Go out there drinking and having fun like somebody has a money tree somewhere in the US where they just go and just get some money from the tree and send you. So if you're gonna ask for money, and I know there are people who also hide behind the fact that, oh, they want money to start a business, and I've heard that story many times from people back in Kenya, and they end up conning you. They're not starting the business, or once you give them the money for the business, they're not even gonna. They make promises, man. You guys already know when somebody's borrowing you money, they'll promise you everything, man. They promise to even give you their wife, man, just so they can lure you to give them some money. But once you give them money, that business, they'll try and avoid you and make it look like when you're asking that money, make it look like you're the one who owes them money. They don't owe you shit, you know? So, and a lot of people have been conned, and most Kenyans abroad have woken up. They are like, and they're like, they don't want to send money back home or even help anybody because they feel like everybody's just out. They had to fix what the money wasn't used, or somebody worked so hard they denied themselves a lot of things just so they can send you money back home. But people don't appreciate that. So most of the relatives, they get tired. The other thing is, and it's not one-sided, so it's not like I'm blaming people back home, because most of them don't understand, and their relatives, they don't tell them the truth. If you don't tell somebody back home the truth, you tell them you got responsibilities too, and whatever you send them, they should appreciate because it's for free. You don't tell them the truth, they're not gonna know. So it's just like I was saying, when I was back in Kenya, all I knew about the US was what I saw on TV. So until I came here, then I realized it's not really what you see on TV. There's more to it. So you guys in the diaspora, you have to tell your relatives what's going on, because most of you guys, when they ask you for money, you just go silent, or you reply their messages once in a while, or you tell them, oh, you are sleeping, or blah blah this, you've been busy. Just be honest with them. Tell them you don't have money, or yes, you might have money, but tell them you got responsibilities. Until you have some money to spare, that's when you can send it to them. But most of you don't want to tell them the truth. You just want to be showing off on social media. And what do you think what do you think is gonna go on in someone's mind when they see you flexing on social media, but when they ask you for something, you tell them you don't have anything to give them? They're gonna think you're lying to them. And the other thing, Kenyans, when they go back home, yeah, most of them, they're gonna tell you they don't have money, because they know if you're coming from the US, you're going back home, everybody back home expects you're taking the money. Like, you're going with your luggage is full of money. You've been making money in the US, you've been there for 10 years. You're going to bring everybody money, and everybody back home, friends, relatives, they're expecting you to bring them something, which is money. You don't bring them, and we already know, you guys in Kenya know, if you don't have money in Kenya, nobody has time for you. So, and most people, if they can't get money from you and they know you have money, they're gonna start saying, oh, you're bragging, or you're acting like because you're from the US, or you think people are stupid, or you think people are not, you know? So people, when they go back home, most of the people, they don't want to go through that. They don't want to go giving handouts. How many people, and whenever you give people money, they never get satisfied. They always think because you give them 2,000 Kenya shillings, you can always give them 5,000 or 10,000. Like, you have all this money to go giving out people. So most people, when they go back Kenya, they don't want to give money, or they say they don't have money. They tell you things are so hard, so that way you can just let them go and not keep asking them for money. The other thing is, one of the guys in the comment said that he doesn't know why most Kenyans, when they go back home, they think Kenyans are stupid. I mean, it's sad, you know? It's sad that it's the reality. It's sad that people come to the US, and when they go, after being used to the kind of lifestyle in the US, and they see the experience, they see this convenience where you can apply for a license and get it the same day, where you can drive to work, own a car, buy a nice house. I mean, there's a lot of conveniences in the US. So, and people change. They get a little bit of money. It's not like they change. It's just money brings out the true self, you know, who they really are. So when they go back to Kenya, it's not like they changed when they came to the US. It's just that when they were back in Kenya, they didn't have an opportunity to be themselves because they didn't have money. And now, because they were exposed to a little bit of money or a higher lifestyle than they would have thought of. So they are now, the more of who they are shows up when they go back home, and they think people are stupid. For me, I don't think Kenyans are stupid. I think Kenyans are so creative. It's just that there are no opportunities, not too many opportunities. So many young people with so many bright ideas, but they don't have opportunities. So I think Kenyans are smart, and I'm thankful that I came from Kenya with a Kenyan mindset, and I came to the US. It's amazing when you come from a different country with a different perspective, and you go to a place where there are opportunities. You'll be able to see opportunities that even fellow Americans don't see them. So somebody saying Kenyans are stupid they have a problem with themselves. It's just them. They themselves are the one who are stupid, but they have to project it on other people. That way maybe it'll make them feel so good, because there's nothing. It's not like I'm good being in the US. I'm not better than a guy in Kenya. It's just that I'm blessed to be here. So those guys, most of them, they go back to Kenya, they feel like some Kenyans are stupid. I mean, you guys don't worry about them. It just shows you they have deep issues going on with them. So, and you should just ignore. Especially, and I know a lot of Kenyans, they go back home, they brag, they brag, or they treat people back home like they ain't shit because they've been to the US for a few years. So, but that's just them. It shows who they are. But it's not everybody who is like that. I know a lot of people who are humble. They'll go back to Kenya and it's like they never left Kenya, And it's true, some things your perception of things kind of changes, but it's because you're exposed to a different environment. It's not like because you're better than the other guys. So you guys back home, you need to understand that if somebody's sending you money from the US, just appreciate, man. Just appreciate the little they send you. And the thing is, don't break the trust with people who are in the US. I feel like most of you guys back in Kenya, most people cannot be trusted, and especially with the society nowadays where everything is money. Everybody back in Kenya, like I said, if you don't have money, nobody has time for you. And when you don't give them money you have, people say you're proud, or they call you all kinds of names, because they can't get in your pockets. And you can't get mad, man. You can't really get mad in what somebody has in their pocket. It's theirs. They work hard for it. So somebody giving you even 1,000 shillings, you should really appreciate. And going back to trust, once you lose trust with your relatives in the US or your friends, they're not gonna be sending you money. So if somebody entrusts you, maybe you're starting a business and they send money to you to do something for them, do it. Do it, and afterwards you can ask them for money.